imagine here. You see, if I'm by myself in the southeast office here, and I raise my right hand, it might look pretty weird. Jonathan just raising his hand, but if I gave the instruction for 1,000 people to simply raise their right hand, can you imagine how we're in unison? And it looks so beautiful, guys. Why? Because we're teaching duplication, something very simple, doing the same exact thing. And we're taking this word duplication and we're going to teach you how to apply it to your business. You see, because people have a skewed vision of the network marketing industry, they call it a pyramid. But what they don't realize is wealthy people build networks. Everyone else continues to look for work. You build that network through duplication. A whole lot of people are doing a lot. I mean, doing a little bit. Okay. J. Paul Getty says it best. I would much rather have the 1% of the efforts of 100 people than 100% of my own effort. Okay. And he's teaching the philosophy behind duplication. So we're going to give you some strategies here to show you how to directly apply that to your business. Go to the next slide, sir. And we're going to actually start out with what's called the vital signs. All right. Sterling, I know that this is huge for you. Okay. It's huge for you when we're talking about vital signs. You built organizations in the hundreds of thousands and you've always known the health of your business. And so if you want to, you can just talk about how people know whether or not their business is healthy, what is going on in their business such that they say, man, this is a business that's built for security. This is a business that is built to continue progressively growing as well. Okay. All right. Good deal. All right. Yeah. So, well, I'll hit it, guys. The vital signs, right? You know, when you go to the doctor, the first thing that the doctor is going to do before they ask you what's wrong, they're going to check your vital signs. Okay. They always check your vital sign. They want to make sure they check your blood pressure. They want to check your heart rate. They check those simple things before they make any diagnosis. Okay. But why is it that we don't check the vital signs of our business? You say, well, Jonathan, what do you mean by that? Well, we know that in order to determine whether you have a healthy business or not, guys, number one is all about how many people in your group are going out sharing the epic story. How many presentations are going on in your business every single day? We measure that. That's right, guys. I can tell you, you can hear my voice. I'm very hoarse right now. That's because I've done several presentations, different launch calls, even as early as this morning at 6 o'clock, an early morning presentation, folks. But yet you look at the world of Epic. Here's a business that attracted 54,000 people in the pre-launch alone. Can you imagine all of the distribution points around the world in 135 countries that we've expanded? How many presentations are going on? But if you take that type of inventory into your own business, how many presentations are going on in your business? You look at Founder 2000. Founder 2000. It requires 80 subscribers, 80 scholars to the program. Guys, did you know that, just imagine if you did a massive launch and you attracted 20 people to partner up with you in the business, and you taught them how to go out and do 4 presentations every single week, not a day, just 4 a week. Do you realize that those 20 individuals doing 4 presentations per week, that's a whole lot of presentations. But can you imagine how many new scholars will come as a result of it? But during the presentation, what that does is provides information. But when you utilize the tools, that is where we provide the validation. We got our YouTube channel. We have all of the tools that we put together. You can go into the marketing section of your back office, guys, where you can have a link to all of the tools, the presentations, the videos, utilizing those. We have them in our app as well. Okay. We have them in our app so that you're utilizing the tools that can help you expand your business. But the other piece where you take a person from being a part of Epic to Epic being a part of them, that is where the events takes place. Okay. When you attend the events, it's no longer about how much money you're making. It's about generational change. It's about leaving a legacy. And we, in those events, guys, we're able to celebrate individuals that were willing to take a chance on themselves in this environment. And I'm excited because we always attend events, folks. That is the lifeblood pretty much of your growth and your development, plugging into these different events. So go ahead, Mr. Sterling. We'll hit the next slide here. Go ahead. And
okay, good deal, guys. Hope you're having a great day. Again, no matter where you are. Mark Sterling here again. I want to talk to you today about the difference between going wide and going deep. Going wide and going deep, okay? Now, what happens oftentimes in network marketing is someone's business doesn't grow past the second level. And that's because of some of the three vital signs. It's how deep are tools going into your business. Is that second generation? Is that third generation? Is that fourth generation? Are they plugged into events? Are they plugged into calls like these so they can get that information without you having to speak to them all the time? Is that information coming from a trusted voice? So if you notice this line of trees right here, we have what are called giant evergreens, right? And you have about 10 giant evergreens in a row, maybe a few more. And what you see is what I consider linear recruiting. Okay, I'm sponsoring individuals, I'm putting them in the system, but I'm not creating a duplicative organization, not creating depth. When you go wide, you create income, but when you go deep, you create security. I'll say it again, when you go wide, you create income, but when you go deep, you create security. Now I'm going to share with you today just some tools and techniques about the difference between going wide, which is required, but going deep, which is a skill. Going wide is required, but going deep is a skill, okay? Now, when you see this right here, you see the beauty in the width. And you see the beauty in the width, right? You see, oh man, it's beautiful, and there's great green trees and evergreen. First of all, let me give you a quick story about the difference between evergreens and trees that lose their leaves. There will be times, because of seasons, that trees lose their leaves. I live in the southeast part of the United States, and right now, I'm looking out my window at the office, and trees are losing leaves. And within another month or so, most of the leaves will be gone. And you'll be able to see through or further because they lost their leaves. Don't get upset when trees lose their leaves. Don't get upset when people leave your business. Don't get upset when someone becomes inactive. That's part of the season. But if you keep nurturing that environment, and if you plant enough seeds, you'll wind up coming across some evergreens that will stay a longer period of time. And if you build depth in that same tree where some leaves fell off, the next season they'll grow back bigger and more plentiful because you've actually created a strong root system. Let me show you that real quick, okay? Now, tap rooting looks like this. This is the part most people don't see. This is the part where it gets real exciting. This is the part where you have a significant foundation. This is the part where your hands get dirty because you're out there tap rooting, because you're out there building a book of business in depth, right? And when you build your business deep, you create security. So when a strong wind comes by, right? That wind could be maybe, heaven forbid, there's a natural occurrence that comes by and it damages certain neighborhoods. And in those neighborhoods, you have some distributors. They got to take care of their family first. They got to get their lives back. They can't work the business, right? We want to support them even outside of the business. Maybe there's some times when someone else sees another opportunity for themselves. They're not building this one anymore. We love them for the time they spent with us. We wish them well in their new endeavors. Whatever life event comes along, if you have a solid root system, if you have solid depth in your organization, you will not be affected so much where your business gets totally knocked over and broken, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead out here and walk out here now so you can actually see. I'm gonna draw on the board so you can actually see the skill set that I'm gonna share with you right now. Is you can see exactly how we build in depth, okay? Go ahead and stop sharing this right here. If you guys are still with me, Let me go ahead and get a yes. You guys are still with me? Let me go ahead and get a yes. Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. There we go. Okay. Now, I'm going to share with you something. Make sure the audio is good, guys. Turn the light toward me from down. If you guys can hear me okay audio-wise, let me get a 7 if you can hear me audio-wise, okay? Let me get a 7 if you can hear me audio-wise. Good deal. Now, I want to show you how to take 3 lines of business and run it to Ambassador 10. We'll take 3 lines of business and run it to Ambassador 10, okay? There we go. Is the lighting good? There we go. Now, this is our comp plan. Our entire compensation plan is built on 3, okay? The entire compensation plan is built on 3. Now, what happens here is most people will say, I don't have a team, right? Okay, got it. Let's go ahead and work on that. We want to work on building your first leg of business and driving it 4 levels deep. We'll drive it 4 levels deep. So let's just say, for example, you knew 3 people that said yes to your business. First person's name is going to be Paul. We'll use Mary, and we'll use Sylvia. Paul, Mary, and Sylvia. That's just different. I'll put PMS up there. We're not going to do that. Okay? We'll do Paul, Mary, and Teresa. PMT. There we go. Positive mental thinking. All right. PMT. Paul, Mary, and Teresa. So what happens here is you did your very first virtual grand opening. You did your very first Zoom. And on that Zoom, when you did it, guess what wound up happening? You had 10 people on your first Zoom. I call them virtual grand openings. Okay. You did your virtual grand opening, let the world know your business was open. One of your business partners did the Zoom for you. You let them know you're about to partner with Epic, and you sold them on a position of timing. Guys, we're not only selling Forex education, we're not only selling network marketing. In business, it's about timing. We're selling timing as well, right? So Paul said yes, Marie said yes, Teresa said yes on that call. So those are your 3 frontline business partners. Within 48 to 72 hours, what you want to wind up doing is very simple. You want to schedule a virtual grand opening for Paul, Marie, and Teresa. So on the Zoom on Wednesday night, you did one for Paul. Okay, we want to focus on Paul's leg right now. Paul had 5 people on his Zoom. Okay, 5 people on his Zoom, and 2 of them said yes. Okay, so 1 and 2 said yes. So he hasn't gotten his 3rd person yet. But what you want to do is don't depend on Paul to get you rich. You need Paul to depend on you to drive depth so that he can actually see how it works. Because understand, in network marketing is something called show, shadow, and duplicate. There's something called show, shadow, and duplicate. Okay? You're showing the presentation for Paul's team. Paul sees you do it. He's watching you do it. He's shadowing you the entire time. And you come down here for Paul's person. We'll call that P1 for Paul's person. You're doing the presentation there. And guess what happens? This person here had 10 people in line and got 3 started. Okay? So between those 3, you again are going to go ahead and reach out and say, I will personally do a webinar for one of you guys within the next couple of days. Here's how you get them to do the webinar. You ready? Their virtual grand opening. 3 of them on the call. Say, hey, they said yes. I have an opportunity. I have 2 openings this week. You know 3 are saying yes. I have 2 openings this week. I can go out and do a presentation for 2 people. I have Wednesday and Thursday. These 2 raised their hand first. So on Wednesday, P2 and P3, and Thursday, you're doing a presentation for both of them, right? You tell P1's team, hey, I'm doing a presentation, a launch call, a virtual grand opening for these guys, plug in. Now you have your first level, your second level. You come down here, and then you come down here. You've driven this leg of business deep, 4 levels deep. Your business is not a team until you're 4 levels deep. Let's go back up here. There are 3 rules to this. I forgot to mention the first one. Okay, there are 3 rules to this. A recruit is not a recruit until they have a recruit. Uh-oh. So here you are right here, you, right? So you started, You said yes. Here's recruit 1, recruit 2, and recruit 3. A recruit is not a recruit until they have a recruit. You guys get me on that?
That's amazing, Mr. Sterling.
Very, very powerful. Now, as you build depth, as you start to build depth, this is very critical. Back to tap rooting, right? That's law number 1. That's law number 1. Law number 2 is you don't have a team until you've driven that team 4 levels deep. It's you have to go out there. Here's an old Southern expression. You have to dig in this leg like an Alabama tick. I learned that from a mentor many years ago. Watch this. You took Paul, you scheduled Paul's webinar for him, right, on a certain day. Paul got 3 people started. You drove and did webinars for his first person right here. And you told the other ones what day you were doing it. They brought some people on. And then you drove that level 1, 2, 3. You drove it 4 levels deep. Now you have a team. I've heard people say, I got 5 people on my team and they're not doing anything. Guys, 5 people really is not a big organization. 5 people is a spades group plus an extra. Okay? Now, what I mean by that is this. Because you drove this organization this deep, you now are at the beginning of creating security. I want to show you this. Here's the third part of this. If you get this, it's going to be amazing. Because when you get to level 4, you're going to find almost inevitably, right? When you go 4 levels deep, you'll find someone like yourself. I've heard David McCovey say that he doesn't have 5 people in his company that are relatives of his, and he owns 2 network marketing companies. I don't have 2 people in my business that are relatives of mine, and we have a pretty big organization. And in every company, I've never had a lot of folks that love me and cared about me that actually helped grow my business, okay? But when you come down here, you're gonna find somebody to run with. The person that will create the most income in your business, you haven't met yet because you haven't gone deep enough in the team. So but remember, a team is not a team until you're 4 levels deep. Now, when you go 4 levels deep, here's where the magic happens. You want to take this, we'll call this person right here, Roberto. On level 4, Paul took you to Paul 1, Paul 2, Paul 3, and Paul 4. You're on the 4th level now, and you start the process again. So you now go to level 5, 6, 7, and 8. You're doing the activity because you started showing the presentation. Guess what? Paul started shadowing. Paul is now doing his own presentations in legs 2 and 3. The duplication process has begun. But when you get down here in level 4, Roberto says, you know what? I've been looking for something like this. Can I lock arms with you? Can you do some presentations for me? And you begin shadow duplicating in level 5, 6, 7, and 8. And when you get down to level 8, you'll find another superstar. Now you have a leg of business. A recruit's not a recruit. Write that down, law 1. These are called the 3 laws of building, by the way, the 3 laws of building. A recruit's not a recruit until you help your recruit get their recruit. Law number 2, a team is not a team until you drive it 4 levels deep. Okay? I'm sorry, a leg is not a leg. A team is not a team until you drive 4 levels deep, but a leg of business is not secured until you drive it 8 levels deep. Here's what I want you to know. And by the way, here's one other advanced principle. If you're sponsoring, you got your first 3, you never want to put, I'm sorry, I won't say never. My encouragement in building is that not to put other people in legs 2 and 3 of the people you sponsor. You only want to drive 1 leg of business. So if you sponsor the person over here, you sponsor Marie, right? And Marie got her 3 people. You got somebody else you're personally sponsoring, that person will go over here, right? If you got somebody else and you personally sponsoring, that person will go over here. You don't want to put them here and here. You want to give your team a head start, but you don't want to run the race for them. Oh, that was good. Like that? You want to give your team a head start, but you can't run their race, okay? Now, here's what I believe beyond a shadow of a doubt. If you follow this, I believe you have a solid book of business that will pay you for years to come. If you do this 8 levels deep across 3 legs of business, you have positioned yourself for ambassador 10 and above. You're going to find some other superstars. They're going to raise their hand. They're going to want to go to work. I'll repeat those 3 laws again. 1, somebody write this for me if you don't mind in the chat. A recruit is not a recruit until you help them get their recruit. A team, number two, is not a team until you go 4 levels deep. A leg of business is not secured, rule number 3, until you drive it 8 levels deep. Remember, you'll find another leader on level 4 and another leader on level 8. If you replicate this process across 3 lines of business, you have structured your business in a solid format to run to Ambassador 10 and above. God bless, take care. I'm gonna kick the call back over to Mr. Green.
Yes, sir. I'm coming over to the whiteboard here. Guys, look, that was some good stuff, okay? You see why this guy has been a world-class builder. Man, I need you guys to type VP up in the chat. Type some VPs in the chat, guys. That's your VP of sales. That's the reason why he's in this position. Now, let's apply this a little bit, okay? Let's apply this because we want to make sure that when you're building, you have your expectations set as well, okay? Okay. Yeah, you want to make sure that you have your expectations set as well, all right? Because a lot of times we tend to go out and recruit about 5 people, and we look up and say, man, I recruited 5 people personally and no one is working. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to help you set your expectation so that you can build a solid business here. Number 1, your goal is right away, you want to have a massive launch and you want to be in a position where you went out and recruited 20 people, okay? Why is that magical number 20? Within your first 90 days. Now, here's the thing about it. We've attracted some amazing builders. You look at the fact that we ran a 1-week promotion, and in that 1 week, one of the builders went out and recruited well over 300 people in a week, but they still know the law of averages, okay? I can assure you, after 18 years of being in this industry, if you typically go out and recruit 20 people, you can expect 6 of those people to quit. Don't get so caught up in people quitting. You have to just make sure that you're focusing on being a sponsor versus just a recruiter. You see, Mr. Sterling just shared with you in terms of the building structure, which we're going to reiterate here as well. 6 are typically going to quit. So if you got 5 people a part of your business already and a few people have quit, it's just what people do. Typically, out of the 20 personals, you're going to have 6 people that will incubate, right? That means that, sure, they'll stay active, but they're not going to necessarily go out there and build. Now, they may take part in the educational program, which is great, because that's the lifeblood of what it is that we're doing. 6 of those people are going to quit. So don't get caught up in it, man. I'm bringing people in and they're quitting. Yes, that's what they do. People go to work and they quit their jobs. They walk off. They put in 2 weeks notices. They change their careers. 6 of them are going to incubate. They're going to be there. They're going to have their scholars program. Some of them are going to go through the education. Some of them are not. People join for different reasons. Some people join because they want the signals. Other people join because they want to learn the skill set. And then you have people that join because they want to build a world-class organization. So out of 20 people, you can expect 6 of those people to quit, 6 of those people to incubate. But guess what? 6 of those people are going to go to work. They're going to do the PS3s, peaking interest, showing the play in 3-way calls. They're going to focus on the vital signs of the business, making sure that they're holding themselves accountable with how many people in their organization sharing the epic story, how many tools are flowing through their business, how many people are going from event to event, not just the large events. We're talking about plugging into the Super Saturdays, plugging into the regional events, plugging into the corporate leadership calls, staying connected. There are factors that impact your belief system, and those factors are the environment that you're in. So if you're not plugging into the environment, that means that you're bound to quit. If you want to know why those people quit, they don't plug into the environment. They don't associate with the successful people. They don't focus on repetition of information. Those are the people that simply say, okay, well, I saw a presentation before. Why am I continuously seeing a presentation? When you're focusing on growing, The beauty in growing and repetition of information, which happens to be the mother of all learning, that just simply means that you're hearing the information over and over again, the same exact information, but you're getting something different from it every single time. You're playing to win. You're expecting to grow as well. Those people that plug into the environment, they associate with the successful people, they stay connected within the environment and continuously plug into the work study courses. You know, they plug into the Forex 101 courses. You know, they're diving into Epic University. They're plugging into the live sessions. They're preparing themselves to win. Those are the people that will have this success. You see, life experiences. It says bad judgment leads to experience. Experience leads to good judgment. Good judgment leads to success. If you don't plug into the environment, you quit. Okay, a lot of times people say things like, I've been in network marketing before and I've never had success. Well, typically, people are doing the same thing over and over again in a different company without focusing on the fundamentals. That is the reason why we're so different here with Epic. Okay, 6 people are gonna quit, 6 people are gonna incubate, 6 people are gonna go to work, and watch this, you're gonna have 1 to 2 people that will become a superstar. A superstar. You go and recruit 20 people. You plug them into that environment, you're bound to find a person. See, once upon a time, Mark Sterling was new in the industry as well. Once upon a time, David McCovey was a brand new person, but he chose not to be a quitter. He chose not to be an incubator. He chose not to just go and work. He chose to become a superstar. And we all go through it. The law of averages says that if you go out and recruit 20 people, you're bound to find someone that is gonna crush the game, okay? Now, let me go back to that building structure. We want you to really understand this, guys. We talked about a lot of things here from, tap rooting, okay? You heard Mr. Sterling say, a recruit is not a recruit until they have a recruit. Until you get that recruit anchored with the recruit, you shouldn't be all excited. You can recognize them, congratulate them, but you gotta be that sponsor to help duplicate yourself as well, okay? But here's your structure. You go out and recruit 20 people personally. Typically, here's what you wanna do, especially right out of the gate. We build what's called a uni-level. That means that we build 3 different legs, okay? And typically, 40% has to be in the first leg, 40% has to be in the second leg, and then 20% for the rank has to be in the third leg. Yet and still, my recommendation is this. You recruit 20 people, you want to put your first person here, okay? Your second person here, your third person here. You say, okay, well, what about the other people that person recruited? We build our uni level very similar to the build of a binary. The reason why people's organizations are exploding is because they're able to create fear of loss scenarios through the building strategies. So if I recruited 20 people, I would put the first 3 here, and then the next person I would put on the outside left. That's where D would go. Underneath this leg, I would put it on the first position, the outside. That's where my personal E would go. Underneath leg 3, I would put it on the first outside. That's where F would go. Okay? Now, if I got another personal recruit here, where would I place that person under D? I need somebody to tell me, where would I place that person underneath this D? Okay? All right? Yep, you got it. The first leg, the outside leg. Here's why. What happens is every one of your personal recruits should be able to benefit from the new recruits that you put underneath there, and it creates momentum flowing down. So what happens is G, if I've recruited somebody under G, outside left. And then under that person, outside left. You want to design this where if you're out building, you're creating what's called a spillover leg for everyone that you introduce. I love this concept. If you follow this model, okay, there are leaders that are building a solid organization. And sure enough, you know, you have A here. Since you're building that leg, in our model, A has to put at least one person over in that leg anyway, and therefore it keeps the leg continuously driving down. That's what we call a power leg, okay? Now, A has the other two legs that they're building, okay? Let me erase this. So A has a power leg, so now they're able to focus on these other two legs. So if this person now wants to go to Founder 500, they already have 4 people in that leg. So now they need to go and get 4 people here in this leg and 2 people over in this leg. Now they're Founder 500, making $500 a month. Very, very solid bill, folks. And if you focus on this, you will win at a high level. Now, here's the other piece to what Mr. Sterling was just talking about. When you're taprooting, ladies and gentlemen, what happens is, you know, you are here, and let's say you recruited 3 people personally, and then you help this person go out and get 1 recruit, and this person go and get 1 recruit. See, because a recruit is not a recruit until they have a recruit. So, and then you help this person get 1 recruit. Now, you have driven this organization 4 levels deep. You recruited this person, okay? And this A recruited B. B recruited C. C recruited D, but D went out and built his structure out and built an organization to Founder 2000. So the faster you drive this business down in depth, this is where the security comes in. You got A, B, and C, who only person recruited 1. They're able to look down and see this massive organization that D built. And the faster you do this, you secure A, B, and C in staying because they're hopeful that one day they're going to find somebody else like D and build out those other structures as well. Okay? So, Mr. Sterling, I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to you, sir. I mean, obviously, we're having fun with building out these structures, guys.
Absolutely. I want to share something. Someone asked a great question, right? They said, in this example right here, you know, A came in and you started building under them. And remember, show, shadow, duplicate. You were showing the presentation. They said, what if C quits? Well, see ya, right? They're gone. Here's the thing, guys. If somebody quits, don't sign up for the class that says how to understand quitters, right? You don't want to sign up for that class. What you want to sign up for is, how do I identify? Leaders come from one of 3 places. Leaders are attracted. When you become attractive enough, when you have enough evidence, past performance, present performance, pleasing personality, leaders will be attracted to you. They will become from, they're identified. Let's just say you start building and you came down here and D went to work. D ran and it got Founder 2000. They raised their hand. They did the work with no assistance. That's a rare occasion, but they, you know what? You want to work with them and make sure you can support them. Don't get in front of them and slow them down. Just make sure you can support them. They're either attracted or identified. And then the third place the leader comes from is they're developed. Leaders can be developed. As you come down here, and remember Paul was up here earlier, right? Paul saw how this worked. Paul starts going out and creating his second and third leg and executing the play. Guys, we say run the play. They ran the play the exact same way they saw you run it. They saw you draw it out. They saw how you went and said, let's get our 20. 6 to 8 will quit. 6 to 8 will incubate. 6 to 8 will build the business. Other 6 to 8 that build the business, 2 will become superstars. They saw the play. They executed on it. And they recognized the best way to get to the money is to go out here and create enough income producing activity, which was they were doing 4 to 6 presentations a week. You heard Mr. Green, this all overlaps, guys. Mr. Green talked about the 3 vital signs. How many people on your team are showing the presentation outside of you? That's number 1. How many people are showing the presentation on your team outside of you? In order to get people to show the presentation outside of you, you must show the presentation. That makes sense? Now, here's the other thing. This is what I call 1,000 stories. If you create enough people on your team making $1,000 a month, It will support your entire family for years to come. And there's one example right here. Mr. Green said founder 2000 right here, right? D went founder 2000. In the chat, let's see how many people you know the comp plan. How many people on balance does it take to get to founder 2000? Let's see in the chat. How many people on balance? 80. There we go. We got people know that comp plan. They broke it down too. 32, 32, and 16. So the minimum, we got 80 right here, right? Well, on this one leg, you got other branches of the business. Now, here's the next question. Hope somebody gets this. Hope somebody gets this. This is only D. Remember, I said level 4. I said you're going to find another. I want to show you this, guys. You just answer the question yourself, right? How many people does it take to get to Ambassador 10? Show me the number of people and also show me the breakdown. So right here, we got 80, right? We got 80 right here. Let's go ahead and see it, right? Exactly. Ambassador 10 is 500 people on balance, 200 in leg 1, 200 in leg 2, 100, 40, 40, 20 in leg 3. So, all right, here's the question. I'm going to give you the secret sauce right now, but I need a response from you, okay? Put if you want to be Ambassador 10 or above, if you have a desire, a burning desire to be Ambassador 10 or above, put 10 in the chat right now. And I'm going to give you the secret strategy on how to get Ambassador 10 done. Guys, we got 1,000 people on this call. I only see 100 responses. Come on, let's go, guys. Let's see 10s. Let's see those 10s, okay? There we go. All right, here it is. Here it is. I'm going to bring it full circle. Everybody be ready, right? Write this down. A short pencil is better than a long memory, okay? Here, write this down. Mr. Green showed you. Remember, this is all overlap. Everything is redundancy. It's called communicative. No matter how you do it, it's going to add up the same way. When you get down here to D, if D goes founder 2000, not if, but when, you got 80 people on your team. Remember, you're going to drive down this leg again, right? And someone D, watch this. E, F, G, and H. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When you take that team and make it a leg of business, you're going to find another founder 2000. 80 and 80 is 160, right? Now, you'll never have a perfectly balanced team. And because you're down here, you got other teams doing a little bit. So if you got 160 in this leg right here, okay, because you drove it down in depth. Remember the 3 laws of building. You're going to have 40 extra people by way of these other teams. I call it collateral volume. You have other scholars that come in that don't have a desire to build. You have other individuals working on getting to founder and founder 100, founder 500 and founder 1000. You'll have the extra 40 points. If you drive this leg down to D and drive it down from D from 4 to 8, you're going to have 200 people in that leg. Remember, I said if you drive this leg 3 times, 200, that's your 160 plus, 200, and by default, if you only take this one 4 levels deep, you'll have at least 100, but don't ever let the minimums be your maximums. Let's say you got a solid book of business at 200, 200, 200, you're Ambassador 10. All we did was simply show the presentation, find some folks who wanted to raise their hand and they wanted to go to work. We showed the presentation again and we took it down to 4 levels. When we got 4 levels deep, we drove that person as if we sponsored them personally, and we took it down 8 levels deep. You now have 2 founder 2000s in your business, and you repeat that cycle. And guess what? I don't care if it takes you 90 days, 60 days, 120 days, a year. When you can get Ambassador 10, guess what they got to call you? Ambassador 10.
There you go. Hey, listen, guys. Look, I'm about to show you the uniqueness of your compensation plan, okay? This is something that you should really, really be able to appreciate. We don't have a matrix. We don't have a matrix. We have a retention-based uni-level model that pays down through infinity. Guys, that's huge. Here's what I mean by that. And if you really understand this, it's going to answer a lot of questions that people might have. People say things like, okay, I have my 3 legs, and one of the people that I recruited, they didn't upgrade to Scholar. How do I replace them? You don't need to. Why? Because see, if this was a matrix, if this was like a 3x7 matrix, what that means is you could only get paid 7 levels deep in the matrix. So this would be level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1 more. And so in that case, you would want what's called dynamic compression. You would want you don't want to necessarily have to replace this person, but what it does in a matrix is dynamic compression says this person doesn't even exist. We don't even count that. So now this will be your level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now it goes down to the 8th level to pull your 7th level. We don't have to worry about that. So you don't have to worry about this person who may have quit. Why? Because you get paid down through infinity in every leg. It could be someone down 100 levels deep, and you can count all of that production out of that leg. So you don't have to replace that. People say, well, you know what? They're messing up my tree. No, your tree is not messed up. Your tree builds down through infinity, and you can count all of that production. I want to do something special for you guys, okay? We have a young lady that's on the line, and man, I'm telling you, this young lady, Cheryl, I don't even know how she does it, okay? I mean, just the time and the dedication that she puts into developing the curriculum that people all over the world are raving about. That's right, guys. We're talking about Coach Max, okay? All right, look, she's the people's champ. She's not just the people's choice. She's the people's champ, folks. And this young lady has mastered building as well. Here's a young lady that devotes all of this time to make sure that all of our master traders are on the same page and putting together a curriculum that is second to none. You see her promoting and how she fuels the Epic News Network and keeping people informed. But yet and still, every single day, you see different people rank up in her organization, folks. She's posting rank ups of founder 2000s, founders 5000, ambassador 10s within her organization. And now we celebrate her as the newest ambassador 50, guys. We're talking about she's gone out in less than 2.5 weeks, have built out a structure that says she has a balance of 1,000 people in her first leg, 1,000 people in her second leg, 500 people in her third leg. She has even more than that because she's well on her way to Icon 100. Man, we got to hear from you, Coach Max. We know that, look, we know that you are busy as can be, but you're a superstar. You got to be on the Success Lab. You built out a solid infrastructure, and we want to celebrate you about that as well.
Hey, Coach, before you say anything, guys, the edification was off the chart. We can't forget this. He is also the first lady chairman 50 in the entire company. Big salute back to you, Coach.
Girl Max. Power.
Thank you, guys. Good afternoon, family. How are y'all doing? Can y'all hear me loud and clear?
Loud and clear. Matter of fact, go ahead, bring us home and close us out, Coach.
I got my epic swag on. I see you guys got your epic swag on as per usual. But you guys, hold on, somebody stop my video. Okay, there we go. Just so you guys know, I want to talk a little bit about building a team and, you know, what my mindset was behind actually building my team, right? What kind of mindset did I have when I was sitting here like, okay, I know that I want to impact people's lives. One of the things that I did was I did not focus on myself at all through this whole entire build. I said, okay, I need to make sure that I have, can you guys see me? Can you guys pin my video so they can see me if that's okay? Spotlight. Let me see if you guys can see me now. Perfect. So one of the things that I did, you guys, was I did not focus on myself at all through this whole entire build. One of the things that I did was make sure, okay, I need such and such amount of founder 5000s in my first leg. I need to make sure that I have this many people succeeding in my second leg. I have to make sure that the person in my third leg is also hitting a certain level, and that will bring me to where I want to be. Y'all see what I'm saying? So if you help enough people, you will get to where you want to be, you guys. You cannot look at this and say, I need. You cannot look at this and say, I need this and I need that. This is not about you. This is about the impact. How many people can you help? Think about that right now in your organization, in your team. How many people can I help get to where they want to be? Do you know how it just warms my heart every single day when I see the mothers on my team, right? The older gentlemen on my team, those that right now in their lives, they are looking like we are living in some uncertain times right now, how and ever, Epic has allowed them to gain an extra $500 a week, right? Guys, an extra $1,250 a week. I had a young lady tell me yesterday, she just hit Founder 5,000. And she said to me, she said, you know, when I was working on my job, I used to have to wait 2 weeks to see $1,250. And now in Epic, I'm seeing $1,250 a week. This company right here is changing lives. Let me tell you something that I told my team last night on a training. I said to them, I said, some of y'all have not spoken to enough people yet. One of the things I tell people is this: I try not to reinvent the wheel. I sit here and I talk to as many people a day. My number is 50. Now for you, your number might be 5, your number might be 10, your number might be 2 people a day, but my number is 50. Okay, I need to speak to at least 50 new faces every single day. And one of the things that you guys have been learning all week from not only me, but from David Lisiaga, from Jonathan Green, these Super Saturdays, Mr. Mark Sterling, all of the powerful marketers in this company is, listen, one of the things that we're doing right now is we're just duplicating. This is what this call is about. We're just duplicating every single thing that we have learned over and over and over till we help enough people all around the world share the story of what Epic is doing, you guys. So I'm super excited. I'm fired up. I'm just ecstatic. I can't even tell you guys the emotion that I have behind Ambassador 50. I am very, very close actually to Icon 100. This is just an incredible platform. It's mind-blowing. And you know, for me, you guys, I think you guys some of y'all follow me on social media, but one of the things I do, I get out in the field. Okay, I get out in the field. I just don't sit behind my computer. I just don't sit behind my phone. I'm out there in the field. I'm talking to people. I'm networking. This is network marketing, right? I'm wearing my Epic swag wherever I go. I just took my daughter outside and people are like, what's that? What's your t-shirt about? Y'all see what I'm saying? I'm sharing the business 24/7 because I believe so much in the plan, right? Somebody said, where do you go find new people? On social media, at the grocery store, at the gas station, wherever it is that I go, I'm representing Epic. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to represent your business. If you don't open up your mouth and speak to somebody about this company, you're going to be upset when somebody else, you know what I'm saying, that you knew is on somebody else's team. I hope I'm speaking to some real people. One of the things that Mr. McCovey said this morning was he has a total of less than 5 family members in this business. If you're waiting for your family and your friends to make you multiple 6 figures, you're doing this thing wrong, guys, right? Just talk to people, right? We have an amazing app. Shout out to Mark Sterling and the developers. We have an amazing app where you can share these videos and you can follow, like Jonathan Green said, event to event, right? From Zoom call to offline. Every single call is powerful. Invite your people, represent your business. And I promise you guys, if you help enough people, if you look at your organization right now, and you say, okay, I got Monica in my first leg. I have Stacy in my second leg. I got Sam in my third leg. I got to help Monica get to Founder 2000. I got to help Stacy get to Founder 5000, right? I need to help, keyword help. Don't say I need, say I need to help people. When you have that kind of mindset, you guys, the sky is the limit. I absolutely love this team. I cannot wait to see you guys on the road. We are on tour. I'm super excited, fired up. Thank you, Mark Sterling. Thank you, Jonathan Green. I'm going to hand it back over to you guys. I cannot wait until next Saturday. Let's keep killing it, guys.
Coach
Be epic.
Max. Yes, superstar Coach Max, man, you are so amazing. I'm so excited about having you a part of this incredible leadership team and the example that you're truly setting. And so, guys, look, we're going to wrap it up with this, okay? 2 points we want to drive home. One, from a compliance standpoint, I'm going to have your VP of sales come up and talk about that. But I want to talk about the things that we have in place to help you in your retention-based business, all right? We said that we wanted to build a business that you could unpack your bags and you can truly call it home, not just a house. We're not talking about renting a house. We're talking about owning it, guys. That's how you should feel about this business. And so you look at some of the retention tools that we have in place, all right? You can see that this company, number one, is a heavily, very heavily recognized. We're big on recognition. We understand the 4 R's: recruiting, and the second one, recognition. Right? We do those 2 exceptionally well, and then essentially you will have great retention. And when you have great retention, that is going to lead to long-term residuals. So from a recruiting standpoint, we're talking about the law of building. That's the lifeblood of your business, going out and finding these scholars, guys, all over the world. The recognition, we celebrate the small wins. You see in the back office, all of the different banners. We want to flood the social media. We want to let people know. We want to celebrate the fact that people are winning. The retention game, we have retention tools in place. We have, starting from our academy, guys, you know, Coach Max has put together what's called work study, okay? Forex 101. She put together a calendar in the back office so that you'll know when these master traders are out there in an environment for work study to answer your questions. We want to, as you attract customers to the program, we want to help you retain them. And so from the financial standpoint, from the building standpoint, we at corporate, we don't want you to have issues where you know, maybe a person's card was maxed out or their expiration expired and so forth. So one of the retention tools that we put into place is once you hit Founder 500, the very first week, we're going to hold that $125. Okay. If you are, you know, we're going to hold that for you. Why? Because it's critical. A lot of times, the biggest problem people have about network marketing is the monthly subscription, having to hit their credit cards. And so we wanted to create an environment where you're able to pay your monthly subscription from your profits versus your pocket, from your e-wallet versus your credit card. And the best way to do that so that you don't have to ever worry about Sunday coming through and you know, maybe, you know, you only have 2 personals when you need 3, whether you're trying to get a free subscription or whether you're trying to build an epic organization where you only need 3. You don't want to run into the situation where you only have 2 actives on a payday and now you don't get paid because you didn't meet the requirements. When we hold that $125, which is the $99.99 for the subscription and the $24.99 for the IBO fee, you're already covered. And the very next month, when it comes time for your subscription, we pay that, we release it from the e-wallet. Therefore, your business is never even interrupted and you don't have to worry about those things, okay? So understand that we're putting these retention tools in place. You have the live sessions so that we can help retain and help people become profitable as well. So last but not least, I'm gonna bring your VP of sales up. Guys, this gentleman wants to talk a little bit about compliance. We want to make sure that we're not only have a beautiful business, but we're built for long term. We want this business to be around for decades to come so that you can will your business to your loved ones as well. So I'll turn it over to Mark Sterling to go ahead and close us out.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Coach Max. What an incredible call we had today. We're going to be the home of the 1-hour training on Saturdays. So let me go ahead and bring it home real fast. Thank you guys again for taking time out of your day. We're honored and excited. We appreciate each and every one of you. Every person on this call is part of the reason, part of the story that Epic is Epic. So we thank you for that. With that being said, I wanted to bring up a few quick things. From a compliance perspective, please make sure that if you have team groups, or many people have team groups, please do not use Epic in the name of the team groups. Some people are not sure which one is the proper Epic group, and they may be going to the wrong group. We have to be careful of that. We want to protect the business, protect the house. So again, do not use Epic in your Facebook or social media platform groups. That would be very, very important, very huge for us. Appreciate that. And also, we also got to be mindful, guys, even when we have rank ups, let's not talk in terms of how much money they're making. We can recognize the position. and that's please use, please use income disclosures. If someone is, hit Ambassador 10, you can mention, hey, we have Ambassador 10, that qualifies a certain amount of residual. But, and also posting, when you got traders especially, we want to make sure we're posting pips and not profits. Posting pips and not profits, but please use those income disclaimers. Very, very important. This is a long-term play for this company. It's a long-term play for you and your family. Let's make sure we protect that. So with that said, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. Take care, take charge, and we'll see you on the next training call next week. God bless. Oh, by the way, we'll be coming to you live next week from the great and beautiful Riviera Maya. Talk to you soon.